Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Dark Shadow. Hello, Eleonora. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness. Here we are again. How is everyone? I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. I have my mic set up in a very slightly different way today. Hopefully it sounds good. Hopefully I'm not too quiet or anything. Just let me know if it sounds awkward in any way. Happy Friday. Hello, Dark Shadow. Hello, Eleonora. Happy Friday, and happy Valentine's Day for tomorrow. I didn't really think about the fact that it was Valentine's Day tomorrow when I set up the stream. It's like, now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should have done like a couples thing instead of what we've been doing, but you know what? I've not really I didn't really think that far ahead. Valentine's Day is always just like I don't know, it's not really one that I focus on. Me and my partner tend to just focus on our anniversary instead of Valentine's Day. We don't really do Valentine's Day, so I don't worry about it. But I hope that if you guys have plans for Valentine's Day, that they're lovely. And let me know if you have any. But it's a hit or miss. So true. I feel like, I don't know, Valentine's Day is always something that I found more exciting when I was single. Like I would think like, oh, I wish I had a partner and blah 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 when I was single. I would do all these cute things. And now that I have someone to share Valentine's Day with, it's like, like, oh, whatever. We focus on our anniversary. That's a special day, you know? All this consumerism junk, just can't be bothered with it. We have our campaign finale on Valentine's Day. Does that count? I think that does count. That's like a group date. I ain't falling in love, so I don't care. Yeah, really, Valentine's Day is... I feel like Valentine's Day is more for my fictional babies than it is for me. Which, speaking of my fictional babies, here, this is what we're doing today, as we have been doing. Every single D&D character that I've ever played, even if it was just for one session. And today we're focusing on Senna Mirren, my little baby, my campaign girly. Very exciting. And this is actually perfect timing because last session, Senna had a fade to black. So exciting. We love to see it. I'm so excited for your finale on Valentine's Day though, Eleanor. That's so silly. Ooh. I also, really funny, my last character, Zafir, this time last year, so again, Valentine's Day, he actually broke up with his partner in game, which is so funny. Really sad at the time, but you know, mostly for him, it's fine. Yeah, let's focus on my girly. Ooh, good girl. I know. It's very exciting. It's the first Fade to Black. Well, first like true Fade to Black of the campaign so far. And of course it'd be Senna. Of course she would be the one to get it. Spill the tea. I will. Well, it's also really funny because the other Fade to Black that like kind of doesn't count was also involving Senna, and she had a topless makeout session with Grimhilda, and that's why it was a Fade to Black. They didn't do anything more than that, but this time, goddamn. Yeah, as you do you want me just to spill the tea immediately? Okay, so Steno, let me get. Do you guys remember that guy William that I designed on stream a few weeks ago? Not the green one, the other one. Let me find his picture. Is he gone? Oh, he is. This one. This one right here. Well, I'm covering him. Handsome lad, handsome lad. Yeah, so these two had a little power. It was very, very like, it was very much just a fling, but it was quite funny because it took everyone else off guard. Ever since William joined the crew, ever since William joined the joined Splitfang, he's not gotten along well with most of them. Not least of all a girl called Grimhilda, who just cast a love spell on him. She did so when she was like 14 or so. Why is this not going? Is there something covering it? I'm just confused about my layers at the moment. Like, hello? Something weird happening. So I can't color this in. Hello? Oh, I see. It's fine. I figured it out. Yeah, so William joined our campaign just before we got to the city, and really he's not had a good time of it so far. Kind of ended up sort of bullying each other. The first meeting didn't go well. It was a bit standoffish, and you know, that kind of didn't really set things up for the rest of the party to get along with him. They've been kind of holding a grudge against him ever since. Everyone except for Steno. I don't know what it is. I think the reason why she was taken with William at first is just because he had lost his friend. His friend had just literally gone missing, and she could relate to that because only like a week earlier, her best friend Brannigan had gone missing. He just like disappeared into thin air, and so she's kind of she was a little bit more empathetic towards William than everyone else in the party, and it was kind of unlike her, really. She's not usually the most empathetic or nice person, but I think she saw a guy who was really down on his luck. She was like, man, my whole team is just like not enjoying this guy. And he's kind of like, he gave as good as he got, and that's sort of why the party hold such a grudge against him. Because like, the party started it. We started insulting him first, and he was just giving it back. Like, he just started insulting them back, and Senna's like, damn, I respect that. But the rest of the party didn't really take very kindly to it. Bonding over trauma. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, he helped with our first heist that went very wrong. He just provided a bit of a distraction. He got punched in the face. He had a black eye after that. Great times, great times. And, you know, that's another thing that Seno found quite endearing about him. Watching him get punched in the face. Doesn't get much better than that. And they had a couple of conversations. They're basically the only one, like, she's basically the only one who's had a normal conversation with William so far. And she was the one to invite him to the team because he is a knight, a hedge knight, so a knight that sort of like roams around and does good wherever he can, really. And he has a bit of a shady past that we don't really know about. And Senno saw this and she was like, ah, there's a guy that can help me to save my clan. Because he's, you know, he'll do the right thing. He doesn't want to see a bunch of people get wiped out by a horrible gas. He'll help me. So she invited him to join the party in order to help us do that. Well, to help her do that, because none of the other party members had said that they were going to help. And she was feeling a little bit desperate at that point. She didn't really expect anyone to care about a bunch of orcs in the hills that no one knows about. But it still stressed her out that no one would help. And that no one had said to her, like, oh, don't worry, we'll sort it, or anything like that. No one had volunteered their aid. And so she was like, I'm gonna help the guy, I'm gonna ask the guy who will actually help me, you know, that sort of thing. And and he said yes, and he was like, yeah, no worries. She didn't even, she was trying to really sell him on it. She was like, oh, you don't have to, and he was like, no, it's fine, I'll do it. So that definitely endeared him to her. And then on the boat over to the city, she needed like 100 golds worth of pearls to do an identify spell on this strange potion that she and William had found, because while trying to look for his friend, they had ended up sneaking away together to go and look in the cargo hold of this ship. Just like gruesome twosome, going down to check things out. So, you know, they've had some bonding. They've had some bonding over the past few weeks. And you know, he fished her a bunch of pearls out of the water and things like that. She shaved his head for him. It's very cute. It's very wholesome. They're definitely becoming fast friends. And it is currently in-game Sennomuren's birthday. It's so cute. We've not like started the birthday yet. It's sort of like early in the morning when we ended the session. And so, you know, we were kind of like doing our usual thing, and then Senno was like, okay, well, everyone come back to my apartment and we can have some drinks, like a pre-celebration before my birthday. Best kind of birthday gift. Ooh, absolutely. And so yeah, so a bunch of people came up to celebrate with her, and they were like fetching their gifts, and this is where things get a little bit funky, but not for Senno, just for William and for everyone's perception of William, like above table. Because Grimhilda, who is our Glinda girl, we fetch her. These are like the most important people to the story. Brannigan, Senno, Grimhilda. Just to remind you who Grimhilda is. Grimhilda she, as a 14-year-old kid, cast a love spell inspired by a fairy tale. And she had shown Zeno this picture that she drew of the man that she cast the spell on. She didn't really choose him, I don't think. It was more like a, oh, my perfect man. And this picture's the spitting image of William. Perfectly. Super weird. And during Senno's topless makeout session with Grimhilda is when she first learnt about this, because Grimhilda showed it to her and was like, hey, this is my drawing of the man that I cast this love spell on. And so Senno knows about that, but she doesn't think it's real, because why would she? She's a 14, like, Grimhilda was a 14-year-old girl when she did this, and like that sort of spell casting, you know, that's not real. You can't do that. You can't cast love spells on people. That's crazy. And so, but also on the way up to, damn, we got layers of silly stuff going on. Yeah, I know, this is like actually quite complicated. Because as we've all seen from my animatic of Grimhilda, she has no memories since before she was 13. She kind of just like woke up one day. Well, she described it as coming home. And both she and William have expressed this sort of familiarity with one another. Like, it's like they've met before. So Grimhilda stops off at William's house, well, William's apartment, on the way up to Senno's place. And they end up having a big fucking argument. Like, it's actually crazy. Because basically Grimhilda comes up to him and is like, hey, let me in. Knock knock on your door, William, let me in. You're gonna let me in right now. And he was like, okay. And then, hello Waffles, nice to see you. I'm just explaining how Senno got laid in game. And it's like, I'm dishing all the tea to do with it. So yeah, so Grimhilda basically barges into William's place and is like, hey, have you heard of this political movement from like 40 years ago? Because it seems really familiar to me. And William's like, what? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, like, I know what you're talking about in the way that it's like, it's history. Like, I know about it. But why would I be involved in that? I'm 20. I'm 23 years old, girl. Like, what are you on about? And she was like, well, it just seems really familiar to me, and it's probably not even, you know, it's probably not even a thing. Like, I probably wasn't involved. I don't know why it's familiar to me. Why would I be involved? You know, I'm only 20 years old. That's crazy. So anyway, you also seem really familiar to me. Like, I feel like we've met before. Do you know why that would be related? And William was like, what the fuck are you talking about, girl? You're being so weird right now. And then Grimhilda let slip that a few weeks ago, when Senno and Bran were trying to help Grimhilda gain access to her memories, trying to help her remember what had gone on before she was 13, she ended up basically astral projecting into what she thought was William's dream, and they hadn't met yet. Speaking of Bran, hello Jack. I'm exciting the whole William, Grimhilda, Senno drama right now because it's Valentine's Day and I'm drawing Senno. It's perfect. Hello. I hope you're doing good, Jack. You too, Waffles. But yeah, and so God, this is just like it's so it's so difficult to explain. So yeah, Bran and Senna ended up helping Grimhilda accidentally astral project into William's, what she thought was William's dream. She saw his tent on the same night. Like, it wasn't really actually his dream that she astral projected to, it was like reality. And she had reached into his tent and grabbed his foot, and he kicked her in the face. And that's what, like, that like jolted her back to reality. And Grimhilda, in this weird conversation that she was having with William about like, hey, about this political movement from 40 years ago and the fact that I feel like I'm involved in it, even though I'm definitely too young to do so, and all of this, she let slip that she had astral projected into his dream, and that really freaked him out. Because he was like, what do you mean you've been in my dreams? I didn't know you 2 weeks ago. What the fuck? And she was like, yeah, like we hadn't met, and you know, we were just talking about it, and you know, Bran and Senna, they egged me on. She like fully threw them under the bus. She fully was like, yeah, it was them, I didn't do anything, like they made me do it. They made me invade your dreams, and William was not happy about it. And then William was basically just like, hey, I think maybe like stop invading my dreams, and maybe like stop being a weird witch. Like maybe magic shouldn't be used to invade people's dreams. Can you stop being a weirdo around me, please? And she didn't take too kindly to that either. So they had a bit of a back and forth. They had a bit of an argument, and he doesn't know. He doesn't know that she cast a love spell on him. He has no idea. And then they ended up going to Senna's party. Although before they went, Grimhilda was like, hey, do you want to like go to the party together? Do you want to go to her house together? And William was like, no, I do not. I don't want to be anywhere near you. And she's like, okay, well, do you have a gift for Senna? And he was like, yeah, of course. And she was like, do you want to go halves? After having this huge fight, it's so funny. They ended up going to Senna's party, not together. And had a good few hours, good time. Everyone had a good time at Senna's party. And then, after everyone left, after everyone left, and it was like, you know, it was kind of an early night. We got shit to do. William ended up coming back to Senna's place and knocked on her door, and obviously she let him in, and she was probably not wearing much clothing, to be honest, because that's kind of her style. And he asked her about the whole like astral projection thing, because he was like, you know what, I got a bit riled up. I called Grimhilda a freak or a witch or whatever. It wasn't great. I just want to know like what actually happened, because she said it was you guys. So hello, explain. And Senna clarified for him that it wasn't as weird as Grimhilda made it sound. Like, it wasn't to do with him. We're not stalking him in his dreams. Like, chill out, bro. And he was like, great. Okay, so like, do you wanna spar? Like, spar? They had a bit more of a conversation before that. It was like, he basically was asking her about the Vale, where she came from, and kind of not so subtly trying to suss out whether or not she was single. Because yeah, well, he was like, oh, who did you leave behind? Like, do you have anyone special behind? And 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 she's like, yeah, no, I've kind of like fucked up all my relationships from back home, so don't worry about it. I'm free as a bird. So yeah, he was just like, so you wanna fuck? Okay, so like, you wanna fuck? And so I was like, yeah, happy birthday to me. And then they just hooked up. Like, it's really funny the way that it all happened, because there was like, I don't know, I felt like I had to give a lot of the history behind it, because the actual like lead up to the Theta flag was so like out of nowhere. But Senna and William have been like bonding over the last couple of weeks, so it's not crazy, but yeah, just really funny. And the tea is all mostly with Grimhilda. And then after they fucked, and William stayed over, Grimhilda snuck up to Senna's apartment and left a little doll outside her door, and was like, and on the doll it had a little note that's like, I still want to be friends, because they still hadn't made up after their fight a couple weeks ago. Like, that was a big fight that those two girls had. It was like bad. So yeah. And you know, Senna's not done anything wrong. It's cute, it's fun, it's nice. I don't think she's broken the bro code at all. Like, just because someone's cast a love spell on someone else doesn't mean that they're off the market, you know? And besides, Senna doesn't believe the love spell is real. William doesn't know about the love spell. I don't know what Grimhilda thinks about it. But players at the table were like, oh, like they didn't like it. I'm like, oh, it's so interesting. But I'm kind of used to that at this point, I think. I feel like my characters always choose really, I don't know, controversially romantic things to do. I had that a lot with Saf as well. So, you know, it's just par for the course. My characters do something to their romantic whims, and the players have an issue. And it just sounded so funny. I think it's because of the like big fight that happened just before. It like made it seem like William was being manipulative or something, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it was manipulative or weird in any way, or breaking the bro code? Because I think it was fine. I think it was totally fine. I think Senna's done absolutely nothing wrong. Which, you know, the party do agree that Sano's not done anything wrong, for the most part. She doesn't know that, well, she knows that they had a weird conversation. I don't think she knows, she doesn't really know the William Grimhilda lore that well, and all of that stuff. So, you know, and even with their love spell and everything, I don't know. I don't think she's broke the bro code. But William is definitely a point of contention. I think it's just because the party don't really like him that much. Jack said, I'm glad it is Friday, weekend off. Hope everyone had a good week. Yes! Happy Friday. It's so good to be back on another weekend. I feel like this week went really fast, actually, for me personally, but maybe that's because I've been really head down into animatics and stuff, and those really take up so much time that my evenings just disappear. Oh, that's a mood. I feel like Reese is gonna make some horrible choices. Yes! Not breaking a break code. Me thinks it's fair game. He asked and consented, so fair game. Yes, exactly. You see, William consented to hooking up with Senna. He did not consent to having a love spell cast on him. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say about that. I love it. Reese is gonna make some horrible choices. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear about it. Exactly, yeah. And it really, I think it came across weird in-game because the party in Senna's apartment was kind of skipped over because it was near the end of the session. So like for us, it went straight from fight into fucking, which is like, you know, it's a bit, I can see where they're coming from there. I just found it really funny after the session. People were like, oh my god, oh, why would they do that? I think someone said, I'd prefer if Senna and Bran hooked up instead. And then there was like a big thing about like, oh, that would be weird, that's like incest. Because they're like siblings, which I find really funny. Because it's just like, I don't know, it's just giving no one can hook up with Senna. And I had this exact thing. I had this exact sort of like, oh, I don't like this last campaign with Zaf. Right after, not right after, but pretty quickly after he and Goza broke up, Zaf ended up flirting with Aramis, who I've spoken about a few times. The one with the baby, and you know, the one that Dragonborn Godred is co-parenting with currently. Zaf ended up flirting with Aramis a little bit, and you know, he was just flirting, nothing actually happened. But after the session, the other players are like, oh, I can't believe you do that, that's so weird. They get so personally offended when my characters make a weird relationship choice, a weird romantic choice. Even if I don't think they're that weird, it makes sense in my mind. It makes sense with my characters. So yeah, just find it funny. But there was like a big it's like a bit of contention about whether Bran and Senna would be weird or whether Bran and Senna would be nice. If someone said, it's like, oh, it's just like best friend bonding, you know, you just fuck your friends sometimes. That's just how it is. I find it funny. This is not a weird relationship choice. I never said he was. It wasn't me who said that. It wasn't me who said that. I thought it was nice and fun. And it was low-key one of the reasons why I made Zaf and Goza break up. I wanted to give him a chance. The other players are like, no, this is too weird. I can't believe Zaf is flirting with people other than Goza. This is disgusting. Disgraceful behavior. I guess they were used to what they were used to at that point. The group stood up and one team had an argument and one of the guys was like, I wish I was split with Reese, which turned the argument to part 5 being the only good thing about Reese. I love that so much. That's so funny. Oh, Reese. I really like Reese. I really enjoyed drawing Reese. I hope you got my email. Because he's done. To be honest, it's been 2 sessions and Reese already has an awkward ship idea with a player character. Yes! Oh, we're still, well, we're not early days anymore. We've had like 30 sessions, but it still feels early days because like still no one in the party are friends. Like everyone still hates each other and we've not really gotten very far. But at the same time, like a lot has happened. I mean, a lot has happened. Which is why it took me so long to explain that William and Sano had a one-night stand. But, you know, it's still early days, but it is fun to see. It is fun to see the ships. I think Sano's most popular ship is with Iva, the Paladin. Which I agree with, I have to say. This like doomed toxic Yuri that they've got going on, their enemies to lovers, because they started off this campaign not liking each other and they are still, they don't get on great. They still don't get on great. So but I do feel like it's going to be really good and that they personally are sort of like my end game ship. But I don't want Sano to just go forever right now. I don't want to settle down. I don't want to settle down this time. I did that with Zafir. I want to be messy. And so I want to be so messy, which is why I've got Seno in the middle of a fucking love spell. She's right slap bang in the middle. And I don't know, there's a couple of other NPCs that I could see her hooking up with. It'd be really funny if she hooked up with all three of the main NPCs. That'd be hilarious. Your players sound awful. Yeah, I know, they're terrible. I can't believe they'd get in the way of the Aramis Zaf ship like that. Crazy. Oh my god, everyone was so shocked when Zaf and Goza broke up as well. That was a really fun time. I really liked doing that. And now I'm being controversial again with William. It's great. Waffles says, I need to get a new laptop. It's not important, but let's say the case is so broken it can't close anymore. The screen has scratches, it's slow, and I feel like the hard drive is failing, which is big. Oh, since all my documents and ideas are on there. Oh no! Do you have them like saved on a cloud? Or need to get them all put on a memory stick or something, Waffles. Ugh. I can't deal with laptops anymore. I had a gaming laptop from like 2016 up until 2021 and it was really like just so slow and it died constantly. It was I switched over to a desktop, proper desktop PC, and oh my gosh, my life is so much better. I know they're quite expensive. And by quite I mean very, but it's a desktop PC is definitely something that is worth the investment. Although, I mean, if you need to be able to move around with your computer, then that doesn't work. Hang on, let me check. OMG, he's so handsome. My daddy man looks so handsome. Yay! I'm glad you like him, Dark Shadow. He was so much fun to draw. I quite enjoyed Pot Pie as well. Let me show off, actually. Let me show him to the class. Let me show off Reese to the class, because we talk about him a lot up here, and I've just done a commission. This is my commission that I just finished of Reese, and this is Pot Pie. So cute, and he's so handsome and so dirty. I really like him. I really enjoyed drawing him. He's so cute. Dirty, stinky, handsome man. Yes, everyone, thirst over Dark Shadows. Boy, thirst Thirst, chat, thirst. You're so stinky. It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for the support and for commissioning me and for giving me a little pot pie. It's so cute. Nom 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 nom. You're so Dirty stinky man is just so type as he's single and free on Thursday. My son. Yay. The children. Love to see it. Let's put him away. Yeah. I've been wrapping up a lot of my commissions this week, trying to get ready for reopening them next week, hopefully. I've got a lot of people asking about it. Yay! Everyone loves Reese, as they should. He's a very cool little guy, very cool stinky little guy. Also, I hate Windows 11, so I will switch and when I get a new laptop and desktop. Yippee! I will commission again soon. Yippee! Who have you got left? Oh, I suppose I've done all of your main squeezes now. So I've done Drift and Nataz and Reese. Ooh, wonder who I'll get. He's currently single. Although it could not for long, apparently. Someone's gonna snatch him up. D&D players and their stinky gremlin men. They just love them. Seno, my darling, my love. I'm so excited that it's her birthday. It's gonna be so sad. So yeah, I think that's most of, well, that's Seno's love life currently. Update. I'm excited for the next one. I mean, apart from that topless makeout session, it's her first Fade to Black. Sure as shit won't be her last. Not if I have anything to do with it. She's just fun. She's a free spirit. Ooh, it was fun actually. When she was talking to William about all the people that she had left behind, she shared a little bit about what happened between her and her friend Corey Rash, which is another boy I'm sure we all remember. Any excuse to pull Corey Rash up, honestly. Let's go. We talked a little bit about what happened between Seno and Corey. I'm definitely gonna bring Corey onto Art Fight this year. I have his reference already, like mostly done. His full body. Oh my god, he's so yummy. I can't wait for people to draw him. I hope they do draw him, because he's a unique looking character and he's so tasty. But it's the first time that Seno's actually mentioned him properly. She's mentioned him twice, I think. But she's mentioned him a few times because she's said that her friend did her tattoos for her, and Corey Rash is who she means when she says that. And she's mentioned him once by name to William, actually, because Seno used to give Corey Rash undercuts back in the day. Because he's a very, very edgy boy. So he has undercut. And yeah, when William was like, oh, so do you have anyone special at home, basically? Do you have any, did you abandon a lover? when you betrayed your clan and left forever, she said that she fucked everything up with Koryrash, basically, because she had a huge secret that she was hiding from him, and she told him, she showed him, and he didn't take it very well. They had a big fight. They had a big fight, and they broke up. Not that they were ever really, you know, relationships over in the Vale are a bit like wibbly wobbly anyway, but ooh. I love just like slowly putting together the puzzle pieces of Senna's life through tiny little things that she says to different people. So no one ever really quite has the full story because she'll just offhandedly say something to someone. The players can put it together slowly, piece by piece, but the characters have no fucking idea what she's talking about. Funnily enough, I have a plan with an NPC romance with him, but it just depends if he survives long enough to realize he's into men and into said NPC. Oh, that's so fun. I really am. I'm really excited with Senna's romances because it's very just whatever feels right. I can't really plan anything too far ahead because it's like you never know with her and with the freaks that she hangs out with. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I love her so much. Corey. No, Senna and her romances multiple. She's got so many possibilities. I still think her and Sylvanas would be really funny. It's the one pairing that will just like never happen, but I would just be so funny if it did. Koryrash, my love, my life. Yes! Oh, handsome green man, please I will draw him. Absolutely. I will. Maybe I'll finish his reference on stream in the lead up to Art Fight, because it's like mostly done, but not quite. Really fun thing about Koryrash is he has disgustingly intricate tattoos that no one's going to want to draw, so that's always fun. Let's get her little ear piercing. I will suffer with them tattoos and it will be worth it. Yeah! To be fair, you can just scribble and it'll be alright. That's what I do with Sennos. If I have to draw them and I'm too lazy to draw them, I scribble them. And also I'm cool and I've covered them up with clothes. But Koryrash doesn't cover his up with clothes because he doesn't need to. So he always has them out. And he's always got his boobs out. His man boobs. And his abs. He's kind of jacked. But in a really lanky way. He's really, really long. He's like 7'5". He's a bugbear. And also everyone in the Vale is really, really tall. Because it's easier to climb that way. So I suppose, gosh, with everyone else that I've drawn so far, I've done like the full their backstory and what's happened in their campaign. I feel like I'll be repeating myself quite a lot if I do that with Senna. Because she's my current girly, so I talk about her all the time. But if you guys want, I can provide a little recap for everything so far, try and consolidate all of her lore and everything in one place. Because it's all scattered over all of the other streams. And I do love talking about her. Give us the love. Give us the love. So, okay. So, Sene Mirren is currently in a... At this current moment, on her birthday, she's turning 27 years old. And she is a half-orc from a place called the Valley of the Screaming Wind, which is a very, very isolated tribe in the country of Bornord. Notably about the Vale, the Valley of the Screaming Wind, is it is windy all the time. That's why it's called the Valley of the Screaming Wind. It's basically a wind tunnel of just constant wind, and they use it for all sorts. They have all these like windmills and like all these swirly things. It's just, they love the wind. They believe it's sacred. They believe it's the beating wings of a god called the Bat-Faced Lord, who is one of their 5 main gods. And you know, they're very, very religious people, just as a whole. Senna herself doesn't really consider herself that religious, because she's comparing herself to the rest of her people, and the rest of her people are crazy religious. But compared to the party, she is quite religious. Which is quite an interesting pairing, with her being incredibly intellectual and into magic and all of this, like her being a wizard. Her mother, who is basically the most important person in her life, she talks about her mother all the time. She's such a mummy's girl. She never stops bringing up her mum. She just loves her mum so much. She's like her favorite person ever. Just extremely close. Her mother is basically the leader of the clan, kind of. There's a bit more to it than that. There's some political... She's one of 3 leaders, her mother. Leadership of the clan is split into 3 leaders, but 3 leaders of like officially like equal importance. They're all regarded as like on the same level officially, but realistically Senna's mum is top dog, because she is something called a Crucian, which translates roughly to crone. And she's like a high priestess, and they believe that she speaks directly to the gods. She just has chats with them all the time, and that her words, the words that she says, are the words of the gods, like speaking through her. So it doesn't really matter like how you were elected into power to be like the leader of the clan's hunters or military or whatever. When you have this woman who can speak to the gods, and everyone's like, oh yeah, these are the gods' words. Like, obviously if she says, no, you can't do that, to the other leaders, they have to listen. So she's like, she has the ability to veto anything that she doesn't like. But, you know, she can't just do that willy-nilly. She has to, like, she's not power hungry or anything like that. Or at least she's not supposed to be. She does speak to the gods. She's, you know, she's enacting their will. She's got to do it right. So, you know, Senno's mum is a very important person in the clan, and her title of crone, or Crucian, is passed down from mother to daughter. Senno is one of 3 sisters. She has 2 older sisters. She's one of 3 daughters. She has 2 older sisters. One called Falinor and one called Kurosi. And her second eldest sister, Kurosi, is a massive fucking bitch. She's horrible. She's always been horrible to Senno. Treat her like absolute dirt. So Senno is not particularly fond of that sister. And Senno has cited to someone, I don't remember who it was. I think it was actually Grimhilda in Session 0, the first day that she met Grim, that that her sister believes that Senno stole something from her, and that is why she was really horrible to her all these years. But she's not said what that is. Ooh. I cannot wait to turn my horror campaign into an office rom-com. B's gonna kiss all the homies. Yes! I got to love the horror turn romance. Yes, it's like watching a scary movie and then having a cuddle. Like, oh, is this good? Keep me safe. You know, that sort of thing. I love it. You gotta fight the horrors somehow. Kissing the homies is the best way. Yeah, so Senno doesn't get along with her second eldest sister. And Senno hasn't really explained much about her life before she left. Most of what she says about her life in the Vale is just like, damn, I wish I could go home. Because she left her home in the hopes of becoming a great wizard. Specifically the greatest wizard of all time. She has always had such an affinity for magic. She loves it. She breathes it. It's her biggest passion. She wants to know everything there is to know about magic. And unfortunately within her clan, it is forbidden to learn about, because arcane magic, as opposed to like druidic magic or godly magic, folksy magic, all of that stuff is like okay, but arcane magic in the way that wizards perform it is seen as dangerous, because of the goddess of madness. It is believed that arcane magic is sort of leaning too far into that goddess's domain, and a goddess of madness is one that has to be respected, and her line has to be walked very carefully, or you will end up facing her ire. And so it's just forbidden to, because people can't be trusted to stop when necessary. And Senno is one that does not know how to stop. Stroke the holy water and then kiss the homies goodnight. So real. Girl cannot catch a break with the no magic allowed crowd. No, real. It's basically her biggest problem. She is a wizard who is so desperate to learn magic, and no one is letting her. She left home not knowing anything about the country that she was walking into. Her clan are so isolated. the only humans they have ever seen are the Inquisitors that come to murder them en masse. These Inquisitors who have conducted a holy war against them for the past 100 years, they are the only people outside the clan that Skam has ever seen. And they kill them on sight. And so Senno had absolutely no idea what she was walking into when she left her clan. All she had was the dream of something better. And what does she find when she leaves her clan? Never ever to return, because if she returns now, after having betrayed her clan, they will execute her. Specifically, her mother will have to execute her, so she really can't go back because she loves her mother and doesn't want to put her in that position. So she left home only to find that magic is super not allowed outside of her clan, and now she's fucked. She really hoped that she would find what she was looking for out here. She hoped things would be different, and they are worse. Much worse. So, yeah, she gave up everything. Every single thing in her life. She's given up everything that she loves in order to pursue her dream. Pursue magic. It's the thing that brings her the most joy. She loves it so much that she was willing to give up everything to pursue it. And the universe said, no. No, you will not. And it's just so cruel. So now she has to contend with the fact... She has to contend with that. That's her biggest... Well, one of her biggest issues at the moment is this homesickness that is burrowing into her soul. The knowledge that she can't go back unless she has something... Unless something incredible happens. Unless the war ends or something like that, this 100-year war. There will be no chance that she can go back, show her face again to the people that she loves, speak to them ever again. And she doesn't even get what she wanted out of it, you know? She can't even learn magic. She's just like... She just completely played herself, and she regrets ever leaving. And, you know, it's just terrible. It's terrible, horrible, really, really sad. On the bright side, though, she's made an excellent friend in the form of Brannigan. Does her mother face any repercussions for Senno leaving? Possibly. Possibly. It really comes into... I can't say too much because it has a lot to do with Senno's upbringing and what her life was like before she left. And I don't know, it's difficult to explain. But Senno is very, very different to a lot of the people in her clan. And her mother has always tried to fend away clan suspicion from Senno. So, you know, she's always been like, it's the gods made her this way. The gods made her this way. You can't fight against what the gods want. They made her like this. And you have to respect that. You have to, like, who are you to judge the gods' creation? And for Senno to then turn around after all of this and leave and betray her mother and betray her clan I'm sure that things haven't gone well. I don't think it's too bad. Senno's mum is still very, very important, and, you know, wouldn't be too bad. It's just quite shameful. It's just quite shameful. And I think the real repercussions would occur were Senno to return and were her mother to defend her again. So, Brannigan, woo! Yeah. my favorite friendship. They are such cute friends, Senno and Bran. After Senno left her clan, she was basically trying to fend for herself in this country that she does not understand. She doesn't understand money. She didn't understand the fact that food is not freely given. The houses are different, the languages are different. She wasn't very good at speaking these human languages either. She knew them. She'd done a lot of book learning, but she didn't really have anyone to practice with, so her pronunciation was very bad when she first got out into the world. And so, you know, she's just fending for herself. She ended up seeking shelter in a cave that had a werebat in it, and the werebat attacked her and bit her, and then she turned into a werebat. So that's fun. You know how that is. She really just a random thing. She got bitten and turned into a werebat, and she continued on her journeys. She met an apothecary, the same apothecary who had once nursed Sapphire back to health after his most recent death and memory loss at the beginning of his campaign. He sent said apothecary some money to say thank you for healing him, and she used that money to go traveling into Bornord, where she met Senno on the side of the road, half dead from being bitten by a werebat, and she's just like really, really sick. And she and the apothecary healed her up. Well, tried to anyway. She didn't really need it because literally right after they met and she like did some medicine or whatever, Senno, the lycanthropy fully set in and Senno wasn't sick anymore. She was just normal again. But they had a fun time. They got to know each other, they hooked up, it was great. The apothecary gave Senno some normal clothes to wear because she's a very, very kind woman, and sent Senno on her way. And then Senno continued traveling for about a month, for about 4 weeks. Ended up transforming on a full moon into a werebat. Killed a bunch of deer, didn't remember it. Woke up the next morning in a clearing surrounded by dead deer. It was like, okay, well, this is strange. But I don't know what's happening. Harvested a bunch of goods from the deer, went into a city to sell them. And then that day, just after she sold all those pieces from those deer that she had massacred in her werebat form, she met Brannigan singing on the docks, busking in Sylvan, which is a language that Senno was a bit more familiar with. She's a bit more comfortable with that one. So she was quite excited. And using the money that she got from selling all of those deer pieces, she bought them both tickets to the next city, and they hopped on a boat together and had a good long chat on the boat, started bonding. And then when they got off the boat, they were like, well, I don't know what to do now. And so they stuck together. That's so cute. They've pulled off a lot of scams together. Like, a lot. Where they would mostly just, like, charm and rob people. Just straight up. Like, hardly scams, just straight up robbery. Just actual criminals. But yeah. And then they eventually went to jail for breaking and entering into a magic school. Let's say not quite a magic school, but just like a really, really, I don't know, academic, big library, that sort of thing. Senna was desperate for some tomes. God forbid a couple of besties have hobbies. Real. So real. God forbid a couple of besties have hobbies. They're just besties, okay, guys? They're just good friends, and they like to rob people. Is that so bad? Yeah, they ended up breaking into this school in order to get their hands on some tomes because Senna is desperate to learn magic. And, you know, Brannigan has a friend who is missing, who is said to be a very powerful mage, and he is certain that she will teach Senna once they find her. But, you know, Senna is a very impatient person. She's a very impatient person. She's helping him find her. But, like, come on, if there are some spell tomes on the way, she wants them. She wants to be as powerful as possible. There's not a second to waste. So they went thieving for books, and they ended up getting caught. Senna canonically had so many books shoved up into her like dress, into her tunic, that she was a square, and like when they were running away, all of these books just like fell out of her clothes. And it was just terrible. And the moment that they got arrested, Senna was freaking out. She did not want to go to jail because she knew that she would just instantly be executed for being a heretic. Because that's how it is, of course. And she ended up like biting one of the guards that was arresting her, and the guard like freaked out because you know she bit him, and like with her tusks, like those tusks gotta hurt. And he punched her square in the face. She started the campaign with this huge bruise on her jaw. And Bran freaked out because he just watched his bestie get punched in the face, and he tried to Eldritch Blast them. Eldritch Blast the guard, which is great fun. Really good. Went down a tree. They did get fully arrested, and they were definitely going to get executed when they reached their destination at the end of the boat ride that we started the campaign on. Then, of course, we started off in jail on the prison boat, and this great big crocodile freed the freaks on board. And ever since, they've all sort of been stuck together. So, yeah. Things have been quite... I don't know. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a roller coaster of a ride so far. But it's quite hard to... I don't know. It's quite hard to say anything about Senna during the campaign without also involving Bran, because they're giving codependent. They're giving codependent. They're a bunch of really codependent besties. She has such a soft spot for Bran. It's actually insane, and I don't know. The way that I intended to play Senna originally was that she was going to be quite aloof, quite standoffish with people. But when we started, a lot of the rest of the party were like that, and so Senna ended up changing in order to sort of reflect that, because someone has to be nice, and Senna's not nice. Don't get that twisted, but she's just a lot more. She's a lot more interested in the others than I would have originally. Than I originally planned for her to be. And she also cares about Bran a lot more than I thought that she would. It's kind of one of those really fun things that just sort of happens without you planning it. You're like playing your character and something happens and you're like, oh, I didn't think they would react like that, but that's what's happened. You know, the best kind of bestie. Yeah. So like when Brannigan disappeared, it was like quite near the beginning of the campaign. He was sort of spirited away by his hag mother, and his hag mother, his patron. But she was really upset. She just did not take it well at all, and it just made me realize how much she needs him, which is so cute and sad. I think it's just he was exactly what she needed at that moment, because, you know, she left her clan to learn magic and she can't. So she left her clan for nothing. Literally nothing. And everyone that she has met is horrible and wants to kill her. They want to, like, she can't trust anyone to not dob her into the Inquisition. She doesn't know who to trust. She doesn't understand how this country works and things like that. And she met Bran, and he isn't from Bornord. He doesn't care about that sort of thing. And he also was very, very charming and kind of showed her how to be a normal person in human society, which is nice. Yeah, she's really quite protective over him, actually, especially after he almost died in the refinery heist. Broski drank some he inhaled some toxic gas during a refinery heist and almost died, which is great, really fun. Kind of a risky, it was kind of dodgy as well, because Senna almost went to go and help him when she found out that he was in trouble, but one of the other party members said to stay put, and she chose to trust them in that moment. But if Bran had died, it would have been, things would have gone bad. Someone would pay. Yeah, it's very cute. They haven't really had much of a chance to talk about that or about anything really, because that same night is when she discovered during this heist that there were plans in place to use this toxic gas that had just almost killed her friend, her best friend, her like only friend, the only person that she still has to care about at this point. This gas, they're planning to use it on the Vale, on her whole clan. and just wipe them out completely. And no one knows about it, and no one cares about it, because no one remembers that there are people in the Vale living there, living their lives, because they're so isolated. So she's just like, she's had a rough couple of weeks. In the lead up to her birthday, she's kind of been struggling a bit and not really had much of a chance to talk about it. And you know, ever since Bran almost died, he's been a bit like distant. He kind of wanted to leave and things like that. He respect, and he's been training a lot and all of this stuff, being all sad and serious and stuff. And she's like, oh, for fuck's sake. I just wanted to have fun. So, and yeah, she's not really had much of a chance to talk about it, but I think it's quite obvious that in her way she's really freaking out. She doesn't like to show that sort of weakness. She doesn't like to show her hand that she's freaking out or anything like that. So maybe the others think that she doesn't really care that much, or that she's sort of accepted that she can't really do anything about it right now, because the whole thing is out of her hands currently. She can't do anything. All she can do is sit and wait. She can't get taught magic because the only person who's willing to teach her is missing, and she can't do anything to help her clan not die because, you know, there's a plan in place and she's not involved. Like, oh, can she do anything? Can she just has to sit around and wait for things to happen. It's not her style at all. She's not doing well at that. So yeah, she's having a bit of a rough time, but it's her birthday and hopefully people can cheer her up, because I think it's sort of the perfect time for her to be incredibly, incredibly homesick, and for a lot of things to sink in for her. So I think she's gonna wake up quite sad, but hopefully with some gifts and some drinks and some good times with her friend-ish, she can have a nice time. I say friends loosely because she's really stingy about them. It's quite a funny difference between my two characters. And I don't know what you guys think about, like, if your characters are the same, if your characters sort of operate similarly, or if they have different levels of trustworthiness. But like, for example, Zafir, every single time he met someone new, every single time someone was brought into the party, he was like, oh, you're my friend now and I have to protect you. I'll protect you with my life. And he would like give them gifts, and he's just like a really kind person a lot of the time. And, you know, wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's like, oh yeah, we're friends. And he's willing to admit, hey, we're friends, and, you know, get real with people and things like that. Senna is completely the opposite. She's like, it is so difficult to get her to consider you a friend. It's so easy to fall out of her good graces as well. The moment that someone does something to piss her off, she's like, oh, okay, so I hate you. And it's just, and she's like, she doesn't really trust people easily, and like the only way that she's trusted this party, Splitfang, so quickly is just because everyone in the party has magic or is heathenous in some way, and so if one person dobs her in, then she's just gonna drag everyone down with her, and, you know, so it's kind of like a oh, I know that they're not going to go and get me executed because, you know, I'll get them executed. That's fine. But she doesn't trust them not to, like, hurt her feelings, or she doesn't trust them to like her, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of like a, yeah, I don't know. It's just quite funny because with the little doll that Grimhilda left outside her room, being like, I still want to be friends. I'm not sure that Senno ever considered her a friend to begin with. I think she kind of just waits for people to call her a friend, and then she's like, okay, I guess. Sure. She would never call someone a friend first. Like, for sure, Bran was the one to be like, oh, you're my friend. We're friends. First. Because she never would have said it first. She kind of just waits for people to adopt her, I guess. Which is very... She's got a bit of a complex. Ooh, Rhys don't trust a lot of people. Like, when he knows and trusts you, he's loyal AF, which is his good main trait. He was just raised that everyone is out to get you. There is something you have, someone wants, and they will kill to get it. People want to use you, so be careful and use them before they get a chance to. Love that. I love it. That's always fun. I think both ends of the spectrum are really fun and nice in different ways. Because you have the person who's like, I don't know, building bridges, and they become... It's like, Zaf was quite often a point of call for many of the people in the party in the last campaign because he put himself there. You know, he was so friendly and so always there and always willing to help that so many people came to him about different things. And conversely, when he needed help, everyone came running, and it was really nice. But then, you know, it's really sweet. He was a really troubled guy who had so much love to give, and he gave it freely. Whereas Senno is like, Senno's a bit like a cat. God, that's how they are. Zaf is a dog. Zaf's a bloody dog, and he's just so happy to be here, and it doesn't matter how many times you hurt him, he still has more love to give. Whereas Senno is a cat, and you really have to earn it. Which is just as rewarding in the end. It takes a little bit longer to get there. Unless your name is Brannigan, in which case you're already there. Which is crazy. Not what I expected, but you know, I thought they would just be silly fun friends, but Senno's like literally obsessed with it. She's like, I don't need anyone else. This is what I've got. He grew up in a town where if you do something for someone, they owe you, and you hold that over their head, which is why Rhys's main issue is he owes this NPC creepy guy. Oh, that's fun. That's so, like... God, it's a little bit the same in Senno's clan, but not in like a horrible way. Not in like a horrible, like, oh, you owe them way, but just in like a give and take sort of way. They do a lot of bartering, and like everyone helps each other, but there's always an expectancy to have whoever you help you back at some point. So it's a bit more like friendly and communal version of that, but it's very transactional at the same time. Which I definitely comes across with how Senno is with people. She's like, oh, you owe me for this, I owe you for that. I'm quite excited for her to be given gifts, because she doesn't She doesn't know. She doesn't understand gifts. It's gonna be, it's quite fun. Someone's gonna give her something, and she was given a couple of gifts at her party yesterday, like in the night before, but earlier in that session, she had paid for some tickets to see an opera that like everyone's going to, and so I think she just thinks that they're paying her back for that. She doesn't understand that it's her birthday, and so people are giving her things and she doesn't have to give them anything back. I'm just really excited for that to come out because that's going to be really funny. Hopefully. I think it might be Bran that discovers that. Whoever gives her a present first. Era has always been forced herself into a box to make people like you kind of girly, because that's what kept her safe in the court. So she was everyone's friend outwardly, which is also why she hardly has a real personality of her own. We've discovered, oh, people pleaser, bless her. Oh, that's so real. I relate to that so much. To be like, I don't know, just to try and be as likable as possible. There's definitely that way in school. One of the player characters owes Reese a favor, and Reese has held this over this guy's head for years, and very soon Reese is gonna cash in on that. Yes! I'm quite excited. So I know with the favors or secrets or treats, it's always like Senna will always accept a favor, a secret, or a treat. So like either someone gives her something of monetary value for like to pay her back, or they tell her a secret, or they do a favor for her. And so I think she's quite excited to get the others to do stuff for her. You know how it is. I also think Senna is Senna's like an anti-people pleaser. It's so hard to be her friend. It's like she's fighting. It's like she's fighting you. It's like she doesn't want you to be her friend. Which I'm sure has nothing to do with anything like backstory related, or, you know, I'm sure that there's like just no reason for her to do that, like, at all. Like, that sort of behavior, it doesn't come from anything in your past, or eyes. I don't know, I guess, whatever. I guess I'll never know. Unless someone asks, I guess. The thing, she's like always talking. Senna's always dropping in these little bits about her life, but it's never anything meaningful. And it's always just the smallest little snippets to different people. So none of them ever get the full story. No one has the full story. No one really gets her. No one really gets her. Bran's obviously the closest, but she and Bran have this really horrible sort of friendship, in the way that they are the absolute best of friends, but they just cannot for the life of them have a difficult conversation. It's just, it's like you've asked them to kill a dog. Like, It's like you've asked them to give up all their money or some shit like that. They just will not. And I think it's mostly just because they're both really, I don't know. They both have issues with intimacy. Drift, on the other hand, is a completely different LMAO because she grew up in this monastery in a small town, which she hasn't left. She's very naive and thinks everyone has some good in them. So she's always kind and a bit too trusting. Oh, I love that. I love a happy character. I love a naive, trusting, happy character. I love a character with some love to give. I just think it's really nice. It's just really rewarding, I think. It's really nice and fun to be the character in a situation with a party, to be like, no, I think we should believe this person who's obviously untrustworthy. Or to be like, conflict resolution with some like inter-party drama and stuff like that. I think that's always nice. I wouldn't know because I never end the inter-party conflict. I'm always the one involved. I've never sat on the sidelines. I've never sat on the sidelines being like, oh no, I think you guys should make up. I think you guys should kiss and make up. No, I'm always the one in the fight. For one reason or another. Just fun. Oh, Senna. I love her so much. She's my baby. She's my baby, you guys. I just love her so much. Ooh, ooh. She's just so cute and she's so pretty. Actually did I actually made a little piece of art of Senna and William after their little rendezvous, but I can't show it. I can't show it. It's a little bit way too spicy for YouTube. But just know that it's there. And she looks really good, you guys. She's so pretty. I have a lot of pretty girls. I have a lot of pretty girls characters, but I think Senna is my favorite. Just saying, my favorite pretty girl. I think she's my favorite to draw, at least. I don't have a favorite girl, and if I did, Talia's definitely up there. But Senna's my favorite girl. Talia's a close second. I want to see it. No, you don't. but oh. And Nataza's just a big ball of lies. He is a bit sus and trusting of people, as he can just change himself and change his life to be a different person and avoid them after. That's so funny. Oh, I want to see it. Can I see through DM perhaps? I want to see it. I love it. Got that. Like, I mean, I say that it's like it's pretty spicy. It's not like crazy. It's not like full. But there's a lot of babe. There's a lot of babe. Maybe I'll send it. Maybe I'll send it through DMs. Maybe I'll send it through DMs. I'm down for that. I think what's mostly exciting is that William looks really good in it as well. He just looks really pathetic. He looks really pathetic. In a really fun way. I love that for him. Ira's not thrilled with the party's choices surrounding and after the masquerade, but they're stuck together to see this through to the end. Yeah, I mean, she could always just like, the finale's coming up. She can always like leave. Oh, William's in it. We love a pathetic man. Pathetic. Did he cry after? No. Nothing like that. He just... It's just... Senna is definitely the one that's, like, in control. Is how I'll put it. She's definitely wearing the pants in that twosome. Oh, William's in it. And that's the reason why you don't want to say that's so funny. Oh, she topped him. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Which is just why he looks a bit pathetic. It's just kind of like, he just kind of knows that he's outmatched, I think, is the thing. I think it's what I would go for. Let's get our little glasses in, shall we? This is why I love Senna so much. She's just, I don't know, she's just so everything. She's my girlie. To tweak these a little bit. Can see the soul leaving his body. Yeah, I mean, they do it differently in the Veil, you know? So it's just a little bit like, ooh. She is gorgeous. She is. Ugh. Just love her. I'd marry her. Me too, honestly. These two, honestly, they're my children and I love them, but like, oh my god. Like, they're my children, but also, like, god damn. I love me a strong woman with messy black hair. Yes! She's just so fierce. She's like... she's also... I don't know. She's like so strong-willed. And she knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to take it. And yeah, if there was a deadly sin to embody her, it'd be greed. She is the embodiment of greed. There is never enough for her. Nothing is ever enough. She always wants more. But, you know, she's also partial to envy and lust and wrath, and she's the full package, really. She's every deadly sin. Oh, I can show some Reese possible NPC romance. I got some art. Yes! Yes! I love romance. And it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, you know? Just trying to smooth out her glasses a little bit. I just love her big round glasses. I think that's so cute. Just big round glasses, I love her so much. I think the best thing about her is that she's just so fun to play. That's what you can really ask for in a character. She just... I don't know. She just makes some crazy decisions. Like, in some people's opinion, in some players' opinion, fucking William is apparently a crazy decision. I'll never let that go. It's so funny. It's still so funny to me. I think my main three have possible and set in stone romance, and Nataz is the only one with a player character romance. Oh! Yay! I'm quite excited. for... Ugh. Like, I feel like Senna could get with any of the NPCs, but there's only... I think there's only one player character that she would get with, probably. I don't want to say that, like, fully. Because you don't know what could happen. And it's not really, like, who she would get with, because I'm pretty sure she would get with anyone in the party. Like, either because she finds them attractive or just out of morbid curiosity, she would get with them. But there's always... I always leave it open for, like, something could blossom. She could develop a bond with someone. Because things are very much up in the air still at the moment for her. But it's most likely that there's only one player romance that she could have. Which is fun. I always go for NPCs, which is kind of like, I kind of do want to solidify this player romance. Just so I'm not always dating the DM. She's just pretty with her hair and her glasses, and she also green, which is my favorite color, so she's a bundle of love for me. Yeah. I really love the green. She's just so fun. Also, there's like, now that I think about it, I don't have many characters with like colored, like skin that's like a color, you know what I mean? Like I've got like a pale purple, I've got green, I've got very, very dark blue, and I've got red. And then I've got blue, got orange. Maybe. And this one is like light blue as well. I guess like kind of half and half maybe. I feel like most people just have like regular skin colors. Just, I love my green girl. I love my green girl. Why am I in a fantasy world and I've got like a normal skin tone, you know? Give me my green. Give me my green girls. I've become so partial to orcs. I think ever since I was drawing Gozet in the last campaign, I've just become very, very fond of drawing orcs. And now I'm super fond of drawing orcs because I got my girl. Wicked mention. The one time I successfully did romance in D&D, she ended up in a tragic poly nightmare, affectionately. I miss them, I love it. That's my dream for Sano. I want her to be in a really messy little polycule. I just think it's meant to be. You know how I said she's the epitome of greed? Nothing's ever enough for her? Like, come on, she can't just stick with one partner. She has to have all the partners. Can't tie her down to one person. Just to fuck everyone. And she's willing to try anything once. So I love her so much. She's just so down for anything. I love it. I think probably the most Seno thing Seno has ever done is like aggressively try to convince everyone to pursue this like coffer legend, just because she wanted to see if there was any treasure inside, and then there was a vampire inside, and she ended up being the only one to not be charmed by the vampire, and she was like, well, I'm not fighting the vampire, and let the vampire go to go and wreak havoc on the world. And then when one of the characters turned around and was like, oh my god, you just released a vampire, you you freak, what's wrong with you? And like had a big fight with her. Senna's like, I could take you in a fist fight. You're a foot taller than me, but I could take you in a fist fight. Just watch me. And to this day, they still haven't had their fist fight. They still haven't done their sparring session, but I'm waiting for it. Senna's like, I have never fought anyone in hand-to-hand combat that was smaller than me. Everyone I've ever fought in hand-to-hand combat has been bigger than me. You don't scare me, Goliath lady. You're a foot taller than me. You're like 3 times my weight. You're jacked to hell. I could still take you down. Which is just hubris beyond hubris. I don't think you could, Sano. Truly, I don't think she could. She's a fucking wizard. She's got like +1 to strength. And I just thought, that's so funny. And it all started because she was trying to find treasure. She just thought there might be treasure in this random stone coffer, and all of the sort of documents, every note, every mention of it in every piece of writing was like, this is bad news, this has killed everyone that's touched it. This is a bloody vampire. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, yeah, sure. All of this is to say that I can never choose between my children. I love them all so dearly. But Senna might be my favorite. She's just so much fun. It's really hard. It's really hard to say that she's my favorite because Zaf exists. He's definitely my favorite boy. Senna's definitely my favorite girl. I'm not sure I could choose between them. But Senna might be my favorite. Don't tell anyone. Just kind of want to give a little line. Just give the glasses a little bit more definition. A little... Ooh. Maybe just a soft light. Sure. We're so close. So close to her right now. Look at her fluffy hair. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I could talk about Sunny for hours, and I have. And I will continue to do so in every stream because I'm sure you guys are so invested. Well, I'll always be updating you guys on my campaign. Wow. 100% invested. Yes. That's what I like to hear. Love her so much. Yeah, honestly, she's gonna have so much art by the end of this. She already has quite a lot. I'm curious to see if her or Zaf will end up with the most amount of art. Because Zafir has a lot of art. I think he has about 200 pieces. He has about 200 pieces, but you know, Senna's getting there. Senna's creeping up slowly. She's definitely got more she's got more animatics for sure. She's got more animations. Zaf had a lot of different pieces of art. He's a very angsty boy, so he's got a lot of angsty pieces of art. But Senna's got some silly animations. She's just sillier, so it just makes me want to do silly things with her. But she's also got a little bit of sad in her, so love hearing about this campaign. Yeah, you know, I'll say I love to spill lore about this campaign. I will, you know, ask me anything about this campaign and I will answer it. Or about Senna at the very least. I don't really know what's going on with the other characters. They're all a bit weird. Holy damn. Yeah. Zafir is my favorite son. And well, he's very, very attractive, so you kind of just have to, you know, when a character's that attractive, you just kind of have to draw them all the time. And he also has such beautiful armor, so I just want to draw him in his armor all the time. That's the only thing that's like sad about Senna, I think, is that she can't wear armor. So sad. I love drawing armor. And like no one's wearing armor in this campaign as well, which is extra sad. Except William. But I feel like if I draw any more William art, everyone's gonna be like, wow. Like this guy, stop drawing him. Bunch of William haters. You guys don't hate William, do you? You don't know anything about him, but we drew him together. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. William has it all. Yeah. William... Yeah. William kind of winning. Just saying. But also, like, is he? He's got some weird shit going on, I know that much. William has an evil aura. It's so funny. We got such divisive opinions about William. Oh, she's so cute. I just want to give her, like, I don't know. I feel like the other characters have a bit more definition on their faces than she does. It needs some more shine. I think it's because of her glasses. Kind of take away from the definition around her eyes and stuff. So do kind of cover things up. Let's get we're almost at the end of stream, which, you know, also basically finished Senna, which is great. In the she is levitating in this pose, and so she's levitating in this pose, so we'll get some magic effects in there at some point, but that might come with like the background stuff, maybe. Like for now, she is done. Ooh, she's done, and I love her. I love her so much. So next week we'll get to spin the wheel again, and or should we spin the wheel now for next week? Spin the wheel now for next week, and then we know who we're drawing next week, or should we leave it and spin it first thing next week? Spin that wheel, spin the wheel. Spin that wheel. William has an evil aura. What kind of fantasy name is William? Spin the wheel, wheel. Okay. The people have spoken. We will spin the wheel. But first, let us admire what we have so far. It's looking great. Look at that. Can't even fit it all on the screen. Oh! Okay, so there's 15 characters in total, I think. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 to go. Okay, okay. Let's spin the wheel. Just... who's it gonna be? Oh. Dove! It's Dove. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but Dove is this little bunny rabbit right here. My little Harangon. So we will do my lovely little circus bunny next week. Dove! She's so cute. Oh, she's looking so good. I can't even think of all the characters I've played and it's way less than 15. Love Dove. I adore all my babies so much, even the ones that I've only played for like a random session, even the ones I threw together. They mean so much to me. And I can't wait to have to pull out a background, like a backup character, or make my character for the next campaign, and this is just going to be completely redundant. They all fit perfectly in this setup, and there is no room for anyone else. So I guess Zeno is my last character ever, because I'm not doing this again. Maybe I have to switch out some people that I don't like so much. Or maybe I can add like little extra windows on the side or something. That'd be beautiful. No more D&D ever. Dove, love Dove, my favourite bath and toiletries brand. Who invited Skeda? No more D&D ever. No! No, no, no. It will be fine. Well. Yes, here we are. It's looking so colourful now. I'm so excited. Yeah, so next week we will be doing Dove. Ooh, I'm so excited. I love them so much. They are real cute. They're real cute. Yeah. I guess this is where I will wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining me and for listening to me ramble on and on about my baby girl and her amorous adventures leading up to Valentine's Day. Love. And all this drama with this William guy. Who the hell even is that guy? I hope you all have had a wonderful week and you will continue to have a wonderful week next week. I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. And also, oh my gosh, we hit 600 subscribers this week, which is crazy. Literally doubled my subscriber count in a week. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. That's crazy. Thank you. Oh, yo, 600. Big 600. It was crazy. Congrats. Thank you. This Sunday is next session. Oh, yippee! I'm so excited to hear all about your sessions. Your Valentine's Day finale and your next session with Reese, Dark Shadow, and Eleonora. 600, big 600. Yeah, I know, crazy. Here we go. We keep going. We keep going. We'll get to 1,000 eventually, and that'll be crazy. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to Dark Shadow and Eleonora and Skeda and Jack and Waffles and anyone else who has popped in or been lurking. It's been wonderful to hang out with you as always. Take care of yourselves, play some D&D, and I will see you all next week. Okay, bye! Bye, 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 bye.